Chapter 4. This chapter is a scene in heaven. Um, it starts with, "After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, 'Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter.'" This is, of course, a picture of the rapture, door opening, and come up hither, and of course also the trumpet. I heard, as it were, a trumpet talking to me. At this point, the church is raptured out, and John stands in the throne room. And in verse 2 it states, "And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne." And God is in verse 3, is described. So the church is mentioned in chapters 2 and 3, and in chapter 4 she is already raptured, and I'm going to prove it to you. In verse 4, "And around about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold." So we are going to look into these 24 elders, who they are, but we know from here they are in the throne room, about the throne, so they're sitting there with God, and they have seats. They are sitting, and a seat is always, and in this setting you can state that these are reigning with Christ, with Jesus, with God, because two are sitting. God is sitting, the angels are not sitting, but these 24 are sitting, and they are clothed in white raiment, and they have crowns on their heads. Isn't that a description of the church? If it isn't to you, then we must look further. Okay. And in verse 6, "And before the throne were also there was also a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind." And in verse 7 and 8, these beasts are described. And verse 9, "And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, and who liveth forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before God, before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth forever and ever. And they cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O God, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created." This is chapter 4, and chapter 5 is a continuation in heaven. "And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne," this God the Father, this is God the Father, "a book written within within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And so God the Father has in his hand a book, a scroll. It is written within and on the backside. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?" The seals, they must be opened. And God the Father is holding it in his hand, the book, the scroll, and they are looking, and no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, "Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, had prevailed to open the book and to loose the seals thereof." And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat on the throne. That is, Jesus comes to the Father, and he takes the book out of the hand of the Father. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the praise of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, "Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth." So, the 24 elders and the 4 beasts are singing this, they're praising him. And it states, they fell down and they were giving harps and, harps and golden bowls full of odors. And they sung a new song, "Thou art worthy," and at the end it states, "Thou hast redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto our God kings and priests." That is the church, the overcoming church, and we shall reign on the earth. That is the church. The 4 beasts are not singing this. The 24 elders are singing this. So by then, the church is in heaven. These 24 elders are the church. The only time 24 is seen in the Bible is when David puts 24 I think it was the musicians of the temple of God, and he put them in 24 groups, something like that. And I think this is the same thing. Every elder stands for one group, and there are 24 of them. So the bride, that is the bride. I believe that is the bride. The bride is in heaven with crowns and white raiment and sitting on thrones and is worshiping God and Jesus. And they shall reign, as this is said. And verse 12, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing. And also the angels came in, and also they were worshiping God. But we are still going further to look into these 144,000 and the 24 elders and the bride. We are not yet finished.